tonight as uncertainty looms over public transportation. Transport Minister Dr. Luis Zabanes says government is working behind the scenes to find a solution before commuters are left stranded. Also, a Sandhill woman is remanded to prison after being charged in connection with alleged offenses involving a minor. The case is raising eyebrows because of the unusual circumstances surrounding the allegations. And while thousands of students return to classrooms this week, some deaf students are still waiting for the support they need. Parents say a shortage of sign language interpreters is leaving children behind from day one. Plus, a proposed hotel tax increase is sparking concern across Belize's tourism industry. Stakeholders warn the move could make Belize a more expensive destination and put pressure on an already challenged sector. And later, the costumes are dazzling, the competition is fierce, and the judges are watching closely. 4 bands take center stage as our mass camp tour continues with another exciting night of Carnival magic. Those stories and much more are ahead. News 5 starts now. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, August 25th. I am Sabrina Daly. For many Belizeans, a missed bus can mean a missed day of work, school, or essential services. That reality loomed large last week as tensions grew between the government and the Belize Bus Association over rising fuel costs and the future of a fuel subsidy that operators say is critical to keeping their businesses afloat. While a planned service disruption has been put on hold, the issue remains far from resolved. Transport Minister Dr. Luis Zabanes says government is actively reviewing proposals and consulting with stakeholders to reach a sustainable solution before commuters feel the impact. This morning, Dr. Zabanes spoke with News 5 about the negotiations and government's next steps.
When they sent the letter the first time, they were still getting subsidies.
Okay.
And they correctly point that out in their letter. So at that time, we said we will address this matter in due course at the right time. So that is when we asked them to actually kindly write it to the Prime Minister, and we will take that to Cabinet. So it was, I did mention it in Cabinet, and the wisdom of Cabinet was to bring a proper proposal to us, because recall that back when we gave the subsidy, we were experiencing a rising trend in world prices for fuel, and everybody was feeling the pinch around the world. And then there was the back and forth with them whether or not it would be an increase in fares. Remember the 18 cents per mile versus whether it's going to be a direct subsidy combined perhaps with exemptions from inputs, other inputs like tires, duties on those things. Until we finally came to the point where it was a subsidy plus a fare increase. So that required quite a bit of analysis. And now that is what our team is doing to complete that presentation that we'll make to Cabinet, that will look at the trends of fuel prices compared to back then, because Cabinet ministers need to have all the facts on the table so they can make a proper decision.
Zabanes says the government is pursuing a long-term approach through a public-private partnership and expects to provide an update on the partnership's progress and improvements after the first 6 months, with a review scheduled for September 4th. In other transit news, James Bus Line has reached the end of an era in public transportation after nearly 5 decades on Belize's roads. The company, which began serving commuters in 1978, officially handed over its public routes to National Bus Company. For generations, James Bus Line connected families and communities through early mornings, late nights, and difficult journeys. Its buses traveled dirt roads, crossed flooded bridges with the help of dories, and later moved along the transformed Hummingbird Highway. While the company is stepping away from scheduled public transportation, it is not leaving the road entirely. James Bus Line will now focus exclusively on private charters for group trips, tours, events, and special occasions. The company is thanking the passengers, employees, and communities that supported it throughout the years, as it closes one historic chapter and begins another. The National Bus Company remains confident it can transition to a fully electric fleet by 2027, pointing to major operating cost savings and new government investment in buses rather than terminals. Minister of Transport Dr. Louis Zabanet today explained that Cabinet has approved a plan to direct funds to the acquisition of about 24 electric buses and charging stations nationwide. He further explained that this move builds on data collected from a UNDP and EU-funded pilot project.
There was a report that was shared with the public. It shows that the energy costs for an electric bus is only 22% the cost of a diesel bus. We're now working on about $20.9 million. The value of the terminals would have been put into the company. It's shareholding from the government. So instead of putting that in as terminals, we will put the equivalent of about 24 electric buses plus charging stations. We've been working vigorously for a whole year with our friends in Taiwan. So we're looking as much as possible to receive that in terms of a grant. So that comes into the NBC. Because of the delay now with that switch, we were aiming for September to start getting the first ones. It will look more like January.
Okay.
And so that's the first, that's like a third of the 75 buses that the NBC, the 75 that we have shared the public, that will be needed. So the economics is clear. And so now we will be able to have that as government's input into the company, and with the profitability of the company goes out and raises the funds for the other 50 buses. We have a vigorous discussion with the EU as well, who have manufacturers in Europe.
Zabanes says the National Bus Company has a list of about 38 buses that will be auctioned off and sold. The Belize City Council is looking for more e-taxi drivers as it expands the e-mobility program in Belize's biggest municipality. According to e-mobility coordinator Nichole, the pilot project with an initial 4 e-taxis proved residents are appreciative of the service, and it is economically feasible for the council, drivers, and commuters. The council is now adding an additional 4 e-taxis to its fleet and are inviting prospective drivers to apply.
We wanted to show taxi drivers that they can make more money if they invest in better technology. And we also wanted it so that the city could benefit, because if we're a city with low carbon expenditure and a more quiet combustion type vehicle, you are winning on noise pollution and carbon emissions. We have been getting a steady flow of incoming applications for our e-taxis, but because we have a bit more of a strict control over their whereabouts at night, it's been challenging for some taxi drivers to make the transition. We've heard what they're saying, and we are looking at ways of combating that. So we're hoping to have our fleet of taxis out there in abundance. We just got 4 more newer ones that we're looking forward to putting on the street. So we will be also looking for drivers for those vehicles as well. And please let your viewership know that when we do get those buses, we will be looking for e-bus drivers as well.
Private sector company Evolution Motors has also launched its own e-taxi program. The council plans to further expand its e-mobility program using the municipal bond. Belize's energy crisis continues to make headlines, from shortages in domestic generation capacity to failing electricity supply from Mexico and increasing complaints of high electricity bills. The government says it is actively working to meet the country's electricity demand. On Monday, Minister of Public Utilities Michelle Shabat outlined several government initiatives. Among them, the Briceño administration is exploring interconnection opportunities with neighboring Guatemala. News 5 has previously reported on the initiative, and Minister Shabat echoed that position once again.
Electricity demand is therefore growing, but our domestic generation capacity has not expanded at the same pace. As a result, Belize continues to depend heavily on imported electricity, particularly from Mexico. That interconnection remains extremely important to our electricity system, but excessive dependence on any single external source exposes Belize to international price volatility, supply constraints, and circumstances beyond our control. The government therefore recognizes that energy security requires us to produce more of the electricity we consume here at home. That transition cannot happen overnight. Generation projects require financing, land, environmental approvals, transmission infrastructure, procurement, and construction. But the important message today is that Belize is no longer simply discussing the problem. We are implementing solutions. Government has been pursuing a diversified strategy that includes new solar generation, battery energy storage, strengthening BL's investment capacity, expanding access through microgrids and standalone systems, improving the national transmission and distribution network, and exploring greater regional interconnection, including opportunities with Guatemala.
If your electricity bill suddenly spikes, the problem may not always be with the meter. Belize Electricity Limited says it regularly investigates customer complaints, sending technicians into homes to inspect wiring, test equipment, and review energy usage. According to Executive Chairman Lin Young, those inspections sometimes uncover faulty appliances or electrical issues inside the home that are quietly driving up consumption. He explains how the process works.
I don't know what the PUC does, but we have equipment that we can analyze usage. And so some of the things that we do is, if we would put an analyzer, it's called, right, on the person's meter or on their thing, and it would analyze it. We've found instances where there's been malfunction in equipment in people's homes, and then we can give them advice as to what is causing it. So we found the investigation has done that. We look over their history. We look to see if there were some arrears that they didn't realize. You know, those are the kind of things we do. But for sure, we have these analyzers that we can put in the system on your house, and it analyzes the power consumption over the course of a period. And if there's nobody at home and you see a spike, then we know there's some equipment in there that's malfunctioning. And a lot of times we are able to find what equipment is malfunctioning, and we show the customer and they're able to address it.
Minister of Public Utilities Michelle Shabat says any decision to remove GST from electricity bills would have to be examined by Cabinet. After the break, an unusual criminal case sends a Sandhill woman to prison on remand, while the allegations are drawing public attention.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, by reason of the multitudes of oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry. They cry out by reason of the arm of the mighty, but none saith, where is God my Maker, who giveth songs in the night? The night spoken of here does not just speak of darkness, but it speaks of despair, of destitution, and of trials and tribulations. Job reminds us that if we find ourselves going through troubles and our sunshine has been replaced with the darkness of that night, that God will give us a song in the night if we will but call upon Him. How blessed to know that God can turn our darkness into music. Someone said, music is a medicine of the breaking heart. Martin Luther said, music is the art of the prophets, the only one that can calm the agitations of the soul, and one of the most magnificent and delightful presents God has ever given. If you're experiencing darkness in your life, don't despair, but learn why you are there by listening to God. Henry Wordsworth related that his greatest inspirations had a way of coming to him in the night, and that he had to teach himself to write in the dark that he might not lose them. We too need to learn this art of writing in the dark. What a tragedy it would be to bear the pain of darkness and never know what it was sent to teach us. The lessons we learn can become our song in the night. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
My business is dependent on staying connected. I need quality service at affordable prices, and most importantly, I need to know that if ever there is a problem, my provider will be held accountable. See, the thing is, the people need their shoes. Whether we have many utility providers or just one, as a nation, the service we receive should always be exceptional. And that's where the Public Utilities Commission comes in. And JBV needs the PUC to be FTP for the people in situations where a single provider dominates. It is the PUC's responsibility to step in and ensure that our interests are protected and that we get quality service at affordable prices. I expect them to put the requisite laws in place to oversee the market and promote equity. I also expect them to discourage unfair practices and promote accountability. Lastly, I need the Belizean people to know that the PUC's decisions directly impacts our quality of life. Therefore, it is imperative that they remain guided by the law, informed by evidence, and made to remain transparent, like the Ministry of Shoes. At the end of the day, we all want a great return on our investments, and my Belizean people need to know that our providers are being held accountable. The PUC is here to help make that happen. And as the Minister of Shoes, transparency, accountability, and excellence is exactly what I promote, the JBV way.
The PUC's decisions are guided by the law, informed by evidence, and made in the best interest of Belize.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Get ready, Belize! On September 5th, the streets come alive with color, culture, music, and pure Belizean energy as GBM brings you the 2026 Carnival Road March. One country, one rhythm, one carnival, and you won't miss a moment. GBM will be live from the start of the road march until the final beat, bringing you the sights, sounds, excitement, interviews, performances, and all the action along the way. September 5th, 2026, starting at 2 p.m. Whether you're on the road or watching from home, GBM is bringing the Carnival to you, live, non-stop, and up close. We got the rhythm, we got the vibes, we got the Carnival. GBM Carnival Road March 2026. One country, one rhythm, one Carnival.
Is not just a place, is not just a place. It's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican, Caribbean, the vacation capital.
Every dream begins with an opportunity, and every opportunity has the power to change a life. This year, Belize Bank proudly welcomes 16 outstanding new scholars during its 14th annual Scholarship Award ceremony, recognizing young Belizeans whose academic excellence, leadership, and determination inspire us all.
When I look around the room today, I see future entrepreneurs who will build businesses. I see future doctors who will heal families. I see engineers who will design infrastructure, teachers which will inspire the next generation.
For Belize Bank, a scholarship is more than financial assistance. It's a commitment to each student's future through guidance, encouragement, and mentorship from members of our management team. Today, we celebrate 16 new scholars, more than 250 lives transformed, one shared future. Because when we empower our youth, we empower our nation.
Despite an ongoing territorial claim before the International Court of Justice, Belize and Honduras are signaling a willingness to work closer together on issues that affect both nations. Fresh from a state visit to Honduras, Prime Minister John Briceño says discussions with newly elected President Nasri Asfura focused on strengthening cooperation in key areas such as health, security, trade, and regional development. With Belize currently leading the Central American Integration System, or CICA, the talks also highlighted the importance of building stronger partnerships across the region. Here's what the Prime Minister had to say about the meeting and the path forward for both countries.
Es un gran placer para estar acá visita Presidente. It is a great pleasure to be here visiting the President and to discuss ways we can continue to strengthen the relationship between Belize and Honduras. We have many Hondurans who have made Belize their home. They are now Belizeans, so for us it is very important to be here today. I believe there are many opportunities between the two countries in health, especially in trade, and obviously in searching ways in which we can strengthen the relations between CICA and the Caribbean.
Belize's delegation, headed by Prime Minister Briceño, included Minister of Health Kevin Bernard and Chief Executive Officers from the Office of the Prime Minister, Ministry of Health, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A Sandhill woman is behind bars tonight after being accused of having sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old boy. While cases involving adult men and underage girls often make headlines, police say this case involves a 37-year-old woman who allegedly had sex with a minor twice on the same day. Cherise Shalmadine Morales, a chef of Mile 19 on the Philip Gosen Highway, appeared before the chief magistrate this morning to answer to 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse. Investigators allege that on July 30th, 2026, Morales had sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old boy, then 8 months shy of his 16th birthday, on 2 separate occasions. Represented by attorney Orson O.J. Elrington, Morales was not required to enter a plea because the charges are indictable. Elrington asked the court to exercise its discretion and grant bail, but the prosecution argued that the alleged victim is a minor and that the court was restricted from granting bail under the law. After hearing both sides, the chief magistrate denied bail and remanded Morales to the Belize Central Prison. She is scheduled to return to court on November 16th, when disclosure is expected to be provided in the case. According to police, the investigation began after the 15-year-old, accompanied by his mother, reported the matter at the Ladyville police station on August 6. Officers recorded a statement from the minor and launched an investigation. Morales was detained on August 23rd and later interviewed under caution in the presence of a justice of the peace, where police say she denied the allegations. Following the investigation, she was formally charged with 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse on Monday. After more than 3 months behind bars, mother of 5, Nichole Gilda McDonald, is out on $800 bail and says she is eager to reunite with her children. McDonald had been on remand since June 8th after authorities accused her of assaulting a doctor and nurse at the Matron Roberts Polyclinic. The arrest allegedly breached bail conditions in an earlier common assault case. As part of her release, McDonald must report to police weekly and avoid any new charges. Her harm case involving Dr. Andre Castillo is set for trial on October 21st. McDonald says she spent 3 months, 2 weeks, and 1 day in prison, including time in isolation. While incarcerated, she completed anger management sessions through the Ashcroft Rehabilitation Program. She maintains her innocence but says the program taught her valuable lessons. McDonald also faces several other charges, including assault, wounding, property damage, insulting words, and a cybercrime allegation involving former Commissioner of Police Chester Williams. She has pleaded not guilty, is representing herself, and says she will challenge every allegation at trial. For most students, the first day of school is filled with possibility, new friendships, and fresh opportunities. But for Belize's deaf students, the new academic year has begun with isolation, uncertainty, and barriers that many of their peers will never have to face. From Orange Walk to Belize City, parents are sounding the alarm over a chronic shortage of sign language interpreters, leaving vulnerable children struggling to communicate and learn. Tonight, News 5 examines a growing crisis that is testing Belize's commitment to inclusive education. Here's that report.
The first day of school should be filled with new lessons, familiar faces, and renewed friendships. But for third form student Jada Muscham, returning to ITSAT STEAM Academy meant entering a classroom without the support she needs to communicate. Jada is deaf, and without a sign language interpreter, learning and connecting with others becomes a daily struggle. Principal Christine Cox says the school tried to secure that support before classes began, but those efforts fell short.
Back as early as 2024, which was when we got Jada and Malik and Isabella. They are our 3 deaf students, and they came with a sign language interpreter. So that's Miss Rosamond Williams. And when they started first form, well, like in any typical school, first formers, they don't necessarily have a specific pathway.
But at ITSAT, when a student enters third form, they can choose a major. Jada enrolled in Health and Sustainable Technologies Studies, while 2 other deaf colleagues chose engineering and manufacturing. The only available interpreter moved with Malik and Isabella. Jada's situation highlights a wider national problem. Belize has only a limited number of sign language interpreters, and the low pay makes classroom work difficult to sustain. The school advertised the position, but was unable to fill it.
You can draw another random object, and I want you guys to also practice with the group control.
When we opened up our doors yesterday, the idea was that we were going to be using assistive technology to help that challenge that we encountered with the splitting of them. And I actually teach Jada, and so I was one of them in the classrooms. And the way it works is that when you speak or you're teaching, the technology picks up what you're saying, and then it's like a caption on the TV screen, so she's able to read what I'm saying without a sign language interpreter.
Principal Cox says Jada needs additional support to read and understand classroom material. Jada felt lost, emotional, and questioned whether she would be able to fulfill her academic goals. That's when her mother, Sophia Muscham, stepped in. A career public officer, Musham took the day off from work to interpret for her daughter, insisting that she must remain in the classroom.
I call in a day, an emergency day, because it is an emergency for my child. She needs the instructions, she needs to know what's going on in her class, and the school actually supported me coming in to hold over today until she gets somebody tomorrow. The issue is, though, for us, that we do not have enough interpreters in Belize, and the few that we do have, from what I'm understanding, the wage or the stipend that they can get isn't enough.
Jada now has an interpreter, but only for the short term. The interpreter works full-time with deaf students at Stella Maris and is currently on leave. In Orange Walk, another deaf student faced the same barrier on her first day of high school. Her frustrated father took to social media, and we spoke with the child's mother.
When I reached home, she told me that she felt alone, that she didn't have that support, that anybody could help her, so she could explain herself, her name, how to use the bathroom, where to go to have her snack or lunch. And it's very kind of sad because she reached at home and she told me that she really don't want to go back to school. And I told her, yes, you need to go back. That is for your own good.
Aurelie Alamia described her daughter's experience as lonely, but she encouraged her daughter to return to the classroom while pleading with the school and the Ministry of Education to find a solution. Sophia Musham is making a similar appeal, not only for her daughter, but for deaf students across the country.
We need to advocate for all our special. I don't really like to use the special because we're all human beings. I don't think we should actually call them special. They're just like with my child. She is deaf. She just happens. She's a living, breathing person that just happens to can't hear. She's functioning, but she needs to function with the assistance of an interpreter.
News 5 reached out to Minister of Education Francis Fonseca for comments. He told us, quote, "We absolutely appreciate the challenges parents with special needs children face and have implemented many policies aimed at providing greater support to families. Unfortunately, their children require specialized care from individuals with specific training. It is not easy to access and very costly." End quote. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
For thousands of Belizean women, the road to economic recovery after COVID-19 was made a little easier by an investment from the Taiwanese embassy into their economic independence. It meant stepping into businesses and even fields they had never entered before. Now Taiwan is putting another $3 million behind that progress, expanding support to women and young entrepreneurs with training, vocational skills, and business guidance. Government says the investment is about more than helping businesses start. It is about helping them survive, grow, create jobs, and strengthen Belizean families and communities.
We can see communities were rebuilt and many women had stepped into non-traditional fields, such as cell phone repair. Based on the foundation we have built together, we are pleased to launch today the Belize Women and Youth MSMEs Development Project. Through the project, Taiwan will share its experience and expertise to train women and youth in Belize. With entrepreneurship, equip them with vital vocational skills and assist them in building their own business in tourism, indigenous handicraft, beauty industries, and other potential sectors.
When a woman starts a business, she's not only generating income for herself, she is very often the primary force stabilizing a household's finances, financing her children's education, and reinvesting in her community. Support to women entrepreneurs is, in that sense, one of the most direct investments we can make in the next generation of Belizeans. Therefore, we must create the enabling environment that allows businesses not only to start, but to survive, grow, create jobs, and become a lasting part of our economy. This is an important priority of our government's long-term and medium-term development strategy, and within it, closing the gender gap in enterprise ownership and growth is a named priority, not an afterthought.
Over 2,000 women benefited from the original initiative called Increasing Economic Power for Micro-Entrepreneurs Project. Still ahead, can stronger principals build better schools? A new Southern Belize pilot program puts leadership to the test.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&D Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
It's time for the 37th Annual CBU Media Awards. And once again, Greater Belize Media is regionally recognized with exceptional awards and special mentions. Best Social Media Content Creator Award, Benita Keme Palacio. Best Videographer Award, Rick Romero. Child Rights Champion, Children Who Inspire. Belize's Children's Parliament debates adolescent health access. Reporter, Brittany Gordon. And videographer, George Tillett. Child Rights Champion, investigative reporting story. Special ed students locked out of school for 2 days straight. Reporters, Paul Lopez and Brittany Gordon. Videographer, George Tillett. Best Comedy Item, Grinch Steals Christmas at GBM, Rick Romero, Sheena Smith, and Nisa Sanchez. Special mentions include Best Advertisement, Television, OIE 17th Anniversary, Sheena Smith. Best Production on Land Degradation Neutrality, Boston Village Fights Back Against Illegal Logging. Reporter, Paul Lopez. Videographer, Dennis Tucker and Cleon Barrow. Best News Story, TV, Captain Captain and passenger safe flight from hijacker. Reporter, Marian Ali. Videographer, Darrell Miguel. Graphics, Sheena Smith. Greater Belize Media, growing together.
With everything going on in a day, it's easy to overlook a renewal date. That's why Home Protector Insurance sends a simple reminder to help keep you on track. Home Protector Insurance, if it's worth something, insure it.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
Smart, bringing people together.
4 bands, one exciting night, and plenty to prove as the Carnival judges continue their Mass Camp tour. Tonight, junior bands Black Pearl and Sunshine Masqueraders join senior competitors Fantasy Explosion and Fort Revelers in the spotlight. Paul Lopez is live on the ground, capturing all the color, creativity, and energy. Let's go straight to him.
We're live. This is Mass Camp Night 2 on News 5 Live. We're with Black Pearl, and I have here the band leader. Good night, darling. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good.
You look dashing. Your band look energized. The costumes look lovely. Talk a bit about what all it took to prepare for tonight.
I would say blood, sweat, and tears.
All right, blood, sweat, and tears. Before we go any further, introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, good night. My name is Darrell Van. I'm the band leader for Black Pearl Carnival band. This is our 38 years in Carnival. I win some, I lose some, but I'm a game player. I just come back because I am doing this for my community.
What keeps you going on so long?
My community. I love my community, and you know, sometimes the community have a lot of ups and downs, and these things help bring the community back together.
Because we know the community where we the INA, we always get one bad stigma, one bad reputation, but you bring the joy in the community each and every single year. What are the team this year?
We are doing the Olympus Guards.
How?
The Olympus Guards.
Tell me more, car intrigue.
The Olympus Guards contains Zeus, Ares, Poseidon, Athena, and the Aphrodite.
Okay.
Right?
So we expect
God and Goddess.
So what for people who not see it yet, what can they expect in terms of colors and design?
Colors and beauty.
Colors and beauty.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the dancers,
amount of kids, right? And then as the time goes by, you have kids that comes and want to be a part of us. and I am always welcome to them. I am doing this, and I don't charge. And if anybody give me anything, I will take it because it will help me along with the costume. But I see charging is a part of a problem because in Carnival time, you know, there's also preparation for school, right? People getting uniforms and school books, so I don't have a problem doing it and making my kids happy.
Before I let you go, what would you say is the most exciting part of this year's Carnival for you?
The most exciting part of this year's Carnival? Everything. Everything. The preparation, everything. Getting the kids then together, putting the costume then together. And I want to say a big shout out to my side person. I have to give her the kudos because she's the one that comes with the design. She do the design and I find the funds.
You may a little bit emotional earlier, but I mean excitement, no?
Yeah.
You're never sad.
No. That was emotion that was of joy.
Miss Turla, I want to talk to you longer, but as you can see, I can't hold my waist together. I have to go join you and pick me and dance a little bit. You mind?
No, man.
I could go?
Yes, man.
You give me permission?
Yes, I give permission. Do your thing.
Right. Let's see if we can talk to some of these kids. Occasion?
11.
And what you enjoy the most about Carnival?
And actually they in a Carnival.
You know, you just dance tonight?
Yes.
What you love about it though?
The song and the costume there.
The song and the costume. Alright, well enjoy yourself. While you drink, yes babe, while you drink your water, what is your name babe?
Brian.
And how long you participate in our Carnival?
3 years.
What you enjoy about Carnival?
Have fun and all my friends.
And you got friends in there right now?
Yes.
Alright, you look like you're tired. You're tired?
Yes.
How long you think you could dance tonight?
Till the end.
Till the end? Alright, we are party to the end then. Come back and see if we'll get one more. Child. Come, talk to me. What's your name?
Tyler.
How?
Tyler.
And how long you participate in a Carnival?
This is my first year.
Your first year? What make you decide for join?
Because usually when I say king or queen, I like when they have energy.
Okay. And so, how long you think you could stay to dance tonight?
As long as I can.
I see you're really to put up some moves. How long it take you for land your moves?
Like 1 week.
So you know me always a dancer? Alright, well big up you then. Anybody you want big up?
Yes sir.
Tell me who you want big up?
My ma.
Your ma, well big up your ma.
Because they always believe in me.
Alright, I love that when a mommy believe in you. Alright guys, so I done sweaty, I got my water. We talked to the band leader, we talked to a few of the band members. This is also a snippet of the energy out there tonight. This is News 5's Live, mass camp coverage, night 2. We still got a few more bands to join and for cover. So with that, I will send it back to Subsidy.
Tune in tomorrow for night 3 of GBM's Carnival Mass Camp coverage. There's more news after the break, so stay tuned.
Hi, Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm a civil engineer here at M&M Engineering. Behind every successful production process in our factory come quality materials, skilled employees, and reliable equipment. Specifically, rebar and pre-stressing cable from Belize, which are the building blocks of our products.
Not all rebar and steel are created equal. At Belize, quality is savings because building with trusted materials means building stronger, safer, and longer.
Through Belize Enterprises and Banquet, M&M Engineering has access to the highest quality products and heavy-duty machinery that help us improve efficiency, maintain productivity, and provide the most reliable solutions to our clients.
Best for you and best for me. At Belize, it's the quality. Belize, quality and saving.
KTV The Remix Season 8 is bringing the heat every Tuesday night. Experience Belize's biggest singing competition live from the Bliss as your favorite contestants battle it out on stage with unforgettable performances. The show starts at 8 p.m. sharp, so don't be late. Get your tickets today at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center and come be a part of the excitement. KTV The Remix Season 8, where Belize's next superstar takes the stage. See you every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on GBM.
The way Belize uses electricity is changing. At home, families are using more devices, smarter appliances, and connected technology. Across the country, businesses are growing, industries are expanding, and communities are finding new ways to live, work, and move forward. Behind that progress, the energy system must continue to grow with Belize. At BL, modernizing the grid is part of preparing for what comes next. A grid with greater visibility, more accurate information, and better tools to manage energy as needs change. Through investment in digital systems, upgraded infrastructure, and improved monitoring, BEL is strengthening how electricity is managed and delivered across the country. Not just for today's needs, but for the future Belize is building. As new technology emerges, from solar generation to community energy systems, the grid must be ready to support them safely, reliably, and sustainably. This is the work of modernization, step by step, system by system, community by community, helping prepare Belize for a more connected, resilient, and sustainable energy future.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
Get a smart start this new school year with deals you don't want to miss. Get a prepaid device starting at just $235. Choose from the TCL 503, Honor Play 10, Samsung A07, Samsung A17, and more. Every prepaid device purchase includes a free starter package with minutes, data, and SMS to get you started. Students and teachers, sign up for a Trio postpaid plan and enjoy 50% off for 3 months. Bundle your Trio plan with a postpaid data plan and get a free MiFi. Start the school year powered up with a postpaid power pack. including a device and your postpaid plan deposit, starting at $275. Plus, new students and teachers that sign up for their postpaid bundle get their first month free. Power up for back to school with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
A vacation in Belize may soon come with a higher price tag, but tourism stakeholders fear visitors and local businesses will ultimately pay the price. They are pushing back against a proposed increase in the hotel accommodation tax, warning it could discourage travel, reduce spending, and hurt an industry already grappling with rising costs. News 5's Brittany Gordon reports.
A higher hotel tax could put Belize vacation out of reach for some travelers. Tourism representatives fear government's proposed increase will make the country more expensive at a time when visitors have plenty of competing destinations to choose from. Belize Hotel Association President Reynaldo Malik says the industry is performing strongly, but that advantage could quickly disappear.
We're not only faced with the costs and issues that we're faced here locally. Remember, our largest source market is the United States, and they are also going through an inflationary period as well. So their discretionary spend has diminished as well. So we're fighting against Cancun, we're fighting against Jamaica, we're fighting against the Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, El Salvador now, Panama. We're fighting against all these other destinations for market share. And the first thing that will just basically melt our market share is if we become one of the most highly priced destinations in the region.
Malik says the hotel industry is already struggling with rising costs and shrinking profit margins, making the proposed 3.5% tax increase especially burdensome. In Kikaker, hotel owners are already spending heavily to fight sarcasm and keep their businesses running. Now they could face another financial blow. Belize Hotel Association member Alina Saldivar, who owns Island Magic Beach Resort and Island Magic Villas, says the industry needs government support, not additional fees.
We feel good when the government shows the numbers that our industry contributes, but we struggle to do that without much support. I can confirm that, we don't get any, for example, assistance with import duties. When I bring in sheets and towels, right now, all of us are buying ACs and TVs and refrigerators and faucets and door locks. Like if it's the disposable paper towels that we're buying due to the sargassum and the regular salt air deterioration.
Saldivar says hotels are already battling higher food, fuel, electricity, and labor costs. The UDP also opposes the tax hike, warning it could make Belize less competitive. The party wants government to grow the economy instead and is calling on the BTB to justify the increase with data. BTIA President Efraim Perez says price-conscious travelers may simply look elsewhere.
We're exploring Latin America, we're exploring Europe, and travelers are very price-sensitive. When you are marketing yourselves internationally and you're looking at positioning the Belize brand out there, you're competing against countries like Costa Rica, like the Dominican Republic, like Mexico that's next door. And their pricing is much different than us.
Stakeholders say they need more information about how the proposed tax increase would be used. General Manager at Niño Resort in Placencia shared his thoughts.
That's a lot of money they're talking about. What are they going to do with that money? Is it the central government that wants the money? Is it BTB that wants the money? What do they propose to use for? So these are some of the things at this point the industry just doesn't know. There is no written proposal that we have seen from government, and I think that it's necessary that we'll have to speak to government and find out exactly what it is that they want.
The BHA formally raised its concerns with the Minister of Tourism last week, urging the government to provide greater support for the industry. Talks on the association's proposals are now underway. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Better schools often begin with stronger leadership. Now, a new pilot program in Southern Belize aims to give school leaders the tools to guide education reform and help students succeed. Build is partnering with the Ministry of Education on a 16-week certification course focused on competency-based education. News 5's Brittany Gordon reports.
Education reform does not begin in the classroom alone. It starts with the people leading Belize's schools. A new pilot program is now giving principals and administrators in southern Belize the tools to implement competency-based education and prepare students for a changing world. Founded by Dr. Louis Zabane in 2014, Build has officially launched the program in Dangriga.
Since 2014, we have undertaken a number of trainings, some that we started in Belmopan at the George Price Center for Peace and Development, a number that were done in Dangriga, and these trainings have been done at different levels, from basic training to prepare people for job interviews, to emotional intelligence, working with different groups on specialized skills, for example with our friends from the Taiwanese Embassy and ICDF on cell phone repairs, to higher level training with educators on what is sustainable human development, for example. And now we're preparing a master's level pilot course on competency-based education.
Build believes stronger school leaders can help close the gaps in Belize's education system. Through its partnership with the Ministry of Education and other stakeholders, the organization is equipping educators with the skills to lead competency-based learning and improve student outcomes. Facilitator Dr. Consuela Godfrey explains why that training matters.
One of the things we want to accomplish with the course is to be able to work with school leaders in the South, Stan Creek and Toledo, both primary and secondary school leaders, and be able to work with them over 16 weeks. So there's an aspect of coaching, mentoring, capacity showcase building, skills in implementing and working with teachers at their institutions in competency development. So we want to be able to ensure our leaders' capacity is being built so that only they can implement and observe what's happening in their institution as it relates to competency-based education, but that they're able to give the type of feedback that would help the teachers move the needle forward.
The program puts students at the center by strengthening school leadership and then expanding to teacher training. Unlike traditional courses, it includes 16 weeks of hands-on mentoring and coaching, helping school leaders develop and implement education projects in their schools. Dangriga Mayor Robert Mariano believes the initiative could bring meaningful change to the community.
Our people, the people that you represent and the people that I represent and the people that all of us represent will be benefiting from this institution. And I'm so proud to know that it starts out of Dangriga as usual.
Build is working with the Ministry of Education and other partners to prepare school leaders for competency-based education. Dr. Zabane says that while the training is not free, several partners helped him offset the expense.
I've gotten assistance from other stakeholders that we're really grateful for, and it is that model that we want to use going forward, where people who believe that we are able to partner together for similar objectives will be able to do so and have an impact on the individual Belizean citizen for them to be able to achieve their dreams and aspirations.
Build is inviting school leaders from Stan Creek and Toledo to take part in this program. The first group of 50 participants, evenly divided between both districts, will spend the semester developing practical projects to address the needs in their schools. Organizers will then track the results next semester to measure their impact and support lasting improvement. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Government officials and the Inter-American Development Bank are laying the groundwork for a new program aimed at helping more Belizeans enter the workforce and improve their employment prospects. Representatives from the IDB, the Ministries of Finance and Labor, and the Central Executing Unit opened a 3-day planning workshop in Belmopan today. Chief Executive Officer Tania Santos said successful implementation will require coordinated planning, clear responsibilities, and strong management. She also recognized Labor Commissioner Risela Dominguez-Pat and the Labor Department for their work to improve employment services nationwide.
Today we're having a kickoff workshop session. This 3-day workshop session has to do with an IDB project, which was approved by the government of Belize. And so the kickoff workshop begins with the implementation phase of the program to improve labor force participation and employability in Belize. So over these 3 days, we're going to have representatives from the Ministry of Finance. We're also going to have representatives from the Inter-American Development Bank, the Central Executing Unit, and the Ministry of Immigration, Governance, and Labor, and other technical specialists who will be reviewing the project's objective, activities, and timeline. So the program's overall objective is to increase the supply of labor force skilled in Belize with special attention to women, youth, and migrant. This project has 2 main components. The first is focuses on improving services that help people access the labor force. This includes strengthening the employment services for job seekers and employers, providing specialized support to women, youth, and migrants, improving labor market information, and introducing modern technology. It will also strengthen the Labor Department's employment unit and support entrepreneurship, particularly in the green and blue economy. Now, the second component focuses on increasing supply of labor through relevant high-quality training in priority areas. These include tourism, BPO, information, communication technology, green and blue economy, and also digital skills and childcare. The program will benefit Belize by helping job seekers develop relevant skills and access employment opportunities. It will also help employers find suitably trained workers and provide the government with better information to identify and address labor market needs. Women, youth, and migrants who may experience additional barriers to employment will receive more targeted support. The program is an investment in Belize's people. Its success will be measured by the improvement experienced by workers, job seekers, employers, and communities, and by its contribution to a more skilled, inclusive, productive, and resilient labor force.
The effects of climate change may still seem distant, but experts say Belize cannot afford to wait. Scientists are warning that a strengthening El Niño could bring hotter temperatures, less rainfall, and an increased risk of drought across the region in the months ahead. For a country that depends heavily on agriculture and reliable water supplies, the consequences could be far-reaching. Tonight, we look at why climate experts are urging governments, farmers, and communities to start preparing now, before the next dry season tightens its grip.
There are strong signs that much of the region actually can expect indeed drier conditions in the coming months. It's particularly in the eastern and the southern Caribbean and in the Guianas. But over the summertime, typically it's more the northern islands of the Caribbean and Belize that is included as well, when an El Niño is kind of stifling the atmosphere, depriving it from some of its moisture and leading to less rainfall. Where are we expecting the most impacts and when exactly? Well, for drought, this is actually something that is going to impact the region more significantly during the upcoming dry season, which will start in November, December, or January, depending where you are in the region. We are not expecting to see the worst impacts of the drought until we're way into the dry season. And the reason why that is because you have to factor in 2 things. One, if you have less rainfall during the wet season and you start your reservoirs or your soil moisture at a lower level than you should be at the end of the wet season, then during the dry season, because the water doesn't get replenished by rainfall as fast, you actually get your reservoirs and your soil moisture to go down.
For many Belizean farmers, the forecast is becoming just as important as the harvest. Climate experts warn that worsening drought conditions linked to a strengthening El Niño could put crop production at risk, raising concerns about food security in the months ahead. Northwestern Belize is already being flagged as a drought hotspot through September, and forecasters say reduced rainfall could lead to lower yields for farmers who lack access to irrigation and other safeguards.
What we're seeing now in terms of agricultural drought is that particularly the northwest of the country risk being affected through the month of September. Our forecast for agricultural drought only goes till the end of September at this time. Next month we will have another one. Last month it was only until the end of August. So this is where you can expect that rain-fed croplands, if they're not supplemented with protection strategies like mulching to preserve some of the moisture in the ground or irrigation, that there could be a reduction in the crop yields. The dryness is also something that will continue into the dry season. So that means that, yes, the crop yield might be a bit lower in places that are badly affected now, but it could also continue into the next year to some extent.
The Institute encourages regional policymakers to take note of its forecast and plan accordingly. Up next, Belize is taking on the social media giants. Meet Yerisoh, the homegrown platform putting Creole culture online.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the win, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
Smart, bringing people together.
My business is dependent on staying connected. I need quality service at affordable prices, and most importantly, I need to know that if ever there is a problem, my provider will be held accountable. See, the thing is, the people need their shoes. Whether we have many utility providers or just one, as a nation, the service we receive should always be exceptional. And that's where the Public Utilities Commission comes in. And JBV needs the PUC to be FTP for the people. In situations where a single provider dominates, it is the PUC's responsibility to step in and ensure that our interests are protected and that we get quality service at affordable prices. I expect them to put the requisite laws in place to oversee the market and promote equity. I also expect them to discourage unfair practices and promote accountability. Lastly, I need the Belizean people to know that the PUC's decisions directly impacts our quality of life. Therefore, it is imperative that they remain guided by the law, informed by evidence, and made to remain transparent, like the Ministry of Shoes. At the end of the day, we all want a great return on our investments, and my Belizean people need to know that our providers are being held accountable. The PUC is here to help make that happen. And as the Minister of Shoes, transparency, accountability, and excellence is exactly what I promote, the JBV way.
The PUC's decisions are guided by the law, informed by evidence, and made in the best interest of Belize.
her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Forget Facebook and TikTok for a moment. Belizeans are rallying behind a new social media platform made right here at home. Yerisoh gives users a space to share their humor, music, food, and everyday experiences in Creole. Just days after its launch, the app has attracted thousands of users and sparked a wave of national pride. We explore its growing popularity and hear from creator David Godinez.
You hear about this yet? Yerisoh is the new app you can't stop hearing about. And believe it or not, it's all in Creole.
It says, Yerisoh, the social app for Belize. Sign in for your Wadiguan.
In less than 48 hours, the app has already attracted more than 3,000 users. Prime Minister John Briceño is now among the thousands of Belizeans joining Yerisoh. But behind the app's rapid rise is 33-year-old David Godinez, a self-taught, homegrown developer who combined his love for technology and Belizean culture to create a platform that is capturing national attention.
For Yerisoh, as I'm going to think about my Belizean people, like I said, man, like, it would be cool for just have like a local, have our own sliver of the internet, our own, me and my friend, we call it Belize Distilled, having our own section for make we show off who we are. I think my Belizean people are the most beautiful people, and so I just want to build something for make we could showcase that through music, food, all the jokes.
The app's interface is like that of X or Threads, but prompts users to make a Yeri, share recipes, and explore music. Signing up just takes a few clicks.
Pick a handle and tell Belize who you'll be. There we go. I officially have an account.
Godinez says the support has been overwhelming as he witnesses the outpouring of encouragement from his community.
My Belizean people just show up and show out, and they just like the platform so so cool. Like I find myself to scroll just to laugh and then like repost things. And honestly, like I even think about it now, like I get cold feet at just the overwhelming support from everybody.
Yerisoh is not only gaining ground in Belize, it is also climbing the App Store rankings in the United States as Belizeans abroad join the platform. Godinez shares his reaction to that growing international reach and tells us what went through his mind when Prime Minister John Briceño signed up.
Truly an honor. Obviously, I have the utmost respect for the highest office in the land, and hopefully, like I would love to be able to work with with the government and not make it a political platform per se, but just for allow the PM and other members of the cabinet to have a direct line to the people, right? I think having a dialogue is so important.
The app is available for download on iOS and Android. Godinez encourages all Belizeans to keep supporting it as he works to improve its services. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
From Brockdong and Punta Rock to recordings tucked away on fading tapes, Belize's musical history is at risk of being lost. Now the government has launched the Belize Music Archive and Music Archive Lab to preserve those sounds and the stories behind them for future generation. Shane Williams reports.
Music is more than entertainment. For generations, music has preserved our memories, celebrated our traditions, and helped define who we are as Belizeans. But much of that musical history has already been lost, and more is at risk of disappearing. The government of Belize is hoping to prevent further loss.
The recorded music of Belize is an essential part of our nation's cultural heritage, history, and collective memory. For generations, Belizean artists and musicians have documented through music the languages, traditions, experiences, and creativity of our people. In recognition of the importance of preserving this legacy, the government of Belize, through the Ministry of Culture, the National Institute of Culture and History, and the Belize Archives and Records Service, hereby establishes the Belize Music Archive, a national initiative dedicated to preserving and safeguarding Belize's recorded musical heritage.
Researchers are digitizing recordings from a range of formats, including old recording equipment, while also searching for artists and recordings that have never been properly documented.
I think that all Belizeans would agree that music has always played an important role in Belizean society, and it's really what makes us who we are in great part. Sadly, a lot of that history has already been lost, whether it wasn't recorded or recordings that never saw the day of light after they were broadcasted at a radio station, for example. And this is truly the drive behind this initiative, is to make sure that we don't lose anything else.
Clifton Hall spent years behind the scenes at Radio Belize, preserving the songs that helped shape the nation. Today, his collection forms an important part of the new music archive. Hall spent years working to get the best possible song from Belizean musicians for radio listeners. But beyond the technical work, he says there was always a bigger purpose: to preserve what was being created.
My thing was to get the best out on the radio for the listeners, And in that vein, it became a lot of work dealing with the musicians to get them to be perfect or almost perfect, for people to listen to. I always felt that there should be some preservation of the music and of the things we do in Belize, so that, as you say, the generation to come will understand and learn what was happening in our time.
Sadly, many recordings from that period no longer exist. Gina Scott is a research specialist with the Belize Music Project. She says older recordings were often erased and reused, simply because people did not realize their historical value.
So because we did not always understand the value of ourselves, then we did not always treasure what we had, right? And so because of that, some materials we don't have access to. Some of it is because of what was available. So for example, one group called the Blue Notes that recorded at Radio Belize in the 50s. The director told me, explained, said every Wednesday we went in at 5 o'clock to record. But each Wednesday when we went in, it would be on the same tape. So the tape from the week before would be erased, the recording, right? So you can imagine if we multiply that by the number of groups that have gone in, the number of years, the number of tapes. So that's one of the challenges, to fill in the blanks as much as possible with what we have.
The race is now on to prevent more of Belize's musical history from disappearing. The Belize Music Archive is asking anyone with old recordings to come forward so those songs, stories, and voices can be preserved for future generations. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
The Football Federation of Belize has officially ushered in a new era for local football with the appointment of veteran Jamaican strategist Vin Blaine as its new technical director and Peruvian football legend Martin Dal Orso Patri as national team coach. Blaine is best known for his transformative work leading Jamaica's national women's program and steps into the role on a 2-year contract aimed at overhauling Belizean football development from the grassroots to the national selection. At today's press conference, FFB President Sergio Chuk spoke of Patri's familiarity with Belize, and Blaine spoke of his dual mission to immediately elevate the country's competitive standard, while simultaneously mentoring local coaches to ensure a long-term legacy for the sport.
He has been with us in Belize football for some time now. He has coached the reigning champion in more than one occasion when he has been here, and he has always come out on top, and that is all I need to say why the Federation chose him at this point, because as you know, we are getting ready for the Nations League that starts towards the end of September, and so we needed to bring in a coach that knows the Belizean football landscape, knows the Belizean players, and what better than this gentleman who has won the title at the highest level of football in Belize.
Development all over. It's just about development of players and coaches. And I think for me being here, I've been here like probably around 2 weeks, I think. And I've watched some games. I was really pleased with what I see, especially at the under 13 boys level and the under 15 girls. I think lots of talent here. It's for us now to concentrate on how we're gonna develop them. And I think we started on the right foot. We have already had camps. The girls will be coming in every Saturday going forward, while the boys are in camp. They're coming in between training on a Saturday. So we're looking at that. The referee development is in good hands, so that's not something that I worry about. But the important thing here is to get the coaches up to standard where we can develop the youngsters, the massive amount of talent that we have. And as I said before, looking forward to being here for the next few years and see how far we can get this program.
The technical director's post was previously held by Belizean Philip Marin, who resigned earlier this year to take up a similar post with Football Federation in Barbados. Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, BEL owes Mexico CFE millions of dollars. Justin Nesto Vasquez commented, "How are we a country that has everything, yet at the same time have nothing? We never ever want to make progress because every project/contract has to have a kickback. We don't get value for money. What we do is get the bill. We know what to go on, and we, including myself, just take it." Turning to $3 million for women and youth entrepreneurs, Mercy Lima shared, to $3 million for women and youth entrepreneurs. Mercy Lima shared, "They say the aid is for women and children, but which women and children are they really helping? The media should investigate where that aid actually goes and who receives it. When they say it's for women, we have every right to ask, which women? The women connected to government and power, or the women who are actually struggling? Because if aid meant for the most vulnerable never reaches them, that isn't help, it's injustice." And finally, on Digital Story, country music legend Dolly Parton dies at 80. Marlon Gonzalez shared, "Rest in peace, Dolly. She was a legend not only for her music, but also for her wit, her sense of humor, her humility. I am saddened because it feels like the death of an entire generation of people who were humble, honest, and true. This is what she represented to me." Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. Tune in tonight at 8 p.m. for the grand finale of KTV The Remix Season 8. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.